Hi guys, I am recording from my greenhouse today and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about dreams and why we have the dreams that we have and what they could possibly mean. So my understanding of dreams is based on a lot of books that I've read and a lot of research done by different psychologists. And one psychologist in particular who I really like, and his name is Carl Jung. If any of you guys want to research him, feel free. And he talked a lot about dreams and what they can mean for our subconscious. So if you're a young person who is watching this, I know that a lot of the young people I've worked with have had disturbing dreams before, and sometimes they can sit with us for the whole day and sometimes even longer if we've had a particularly scary nightmare. But Carl Jung, who was the psychologist that studied dreams, he believed, and a lot of other experts believe, that our dreams are basically messages from our subconscious, the part of our mind that I've talked a lot about in my other recordings that basically give us our belief system. So our subconscious that takes in all of those messages every single day and gives us our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs, will also give us our dreams. So if we have a particularly deep worry or a deep feeling that we can't put into words, our mind wants to help us basically. So what our mind will do is it will wait till we're asleep, and when we're asleep, our a wide awake brain, our wide awake mind will close down and go to sleep, and our subconscious is left wide open. So when we have our dreams, it's basically our subconscious speaking to us. So sometimes our dreams will just be leftover messages from our past. Things that have happened might repeat themselves in our dreams. And often that happens if we haven't resolved a feeling. So that means if we haven't dealt with a feeling, it will come back to us in a dream. And what is happening is basically our subconscious is giving us a story that tells us how we feel. So when you do your drawings that I talk about, and when you do your visualizations, and when you do your play, that's you and your subconscious putting your feelings into a story. When you have a dream, it's your mind putting it into a story for you. So it's still you. You're still the one making up that dream. Even if it's a really scary one, it's still you in charge, but it's just your subconscious saying to you, look, you've got this feeling that you don't really understand, so I'm going to give it to you in a story, and I want you to take notice of it, and I want you to be aware of it, and then you can feel better. So when you have a nightmare, it feels awful, and we can feel quite shaken up for the rest of the day sometimes, but then we often feel a bit lighter afterwards, because we've basically brought up a deep feeling and we've become aware of it. So we've made a hidden feeling conscious. We know about it now. So once we know about it, we can process it and let it go. And it's very similar to a lot of the activities that I talk to you guys about. So our scary dreams aren't meant to upset us. They're just meant to make us aware of a feeling that we maybe don't quite understand. One thing you can do if you've had a scary dream and if it's still kind of just lurking about in your feelings, you can talk to a grown-up about it, and you can also draw a picture of it. So in another recording I've talked to you about your saboteur, your dark side, your bad guy basically, that we all have lurking around in our subconscious. You can, if you've had a nightmare, draw a picture of the bad guy in your nightmare and think, and try and get to know him or her, and think, okay, this is okay, I made this person up in my subconscious, I made this monster up or whatever it is, and I can kind of try and get to understand what they're trying to tell me. So think about the feelings in your dream. And an example that I'm going to give you, my daughter had a dream about a week ago, and she said that we were trapped in the house and there was a monster outside that was basically killing everybody, and we had to hide in our house away from this monster. And to me, obviously it's my hobby, but to me it was really clear what that dream meant, because at the moment a lot of us are feeling like we're having to hide away in our houses because there is something out there that is trying to, or that is actually hurting people and killing some people. So for my daughter, that dream, I think, was putting into a story with different characters what she was probably deep down feeling but didn't even realise or couldn't put into words. So when you've had a bad dream, draw it out, talk it out, and ask yourself, do I feel like that in my real life in some way? And then talk to a grown up, or write it in a story, or write out your feelings. Or sometimes it's enough just to think to yourself, actually, yeah, I do sometimes feel a bit lost, or I do sometimes feel a bit scared when. And you can list the things that make you feel scared, or you can list the times that you felt lost or rejected or abandoned, because we all feel those feelings sometimes, and it's okay. And often the more we talk about them and the more we get them out into the open, the better we feel. So I hope that's been useful, and I hope you guys are all okay, and sweet dreams.